This is a demonstration of how to convert a 3D model in STL format into a pattern. We're going to capture our STL model from a website called Thingiverse.com. Thingiverse has many 3D models that are typically used for 3D printing, but we're going to use it to create a pattern. We're looking for a Navy destroyer. We simply type that into the search bar on Thingiverse and scroll down until we find something we like. This one looks like a good one. It's the USS Halsey. Let's click on that and go ahead and download the files. Now that we've downloaded the file, we can see here it's a zip file. So we're going to extract everything that's in the file that we downloaded. And we're going to look in the Files folder. There's our STL. If we double click on this in Windows 10, we can get a view of what our 3D object looks like. And you can see this is a full 3D object. We actually don't want this for a pattern. What we want to do is make a profile of this, kind of slice it down the middle, if you will, and just get a side view of the 3D object. Next, we're going to launch Designer. And we're going to open Pattern Sculptor. And from Pattern Sculptor, we're going to go ahead and load the file that we unpacked, this STL. And here you can see we've got a top view of the ship. Now we don't want to use the top view, we want to use a side view, and we can change the view by using these keys up at the top of the screen here. There's a side view that we want, and so we're going to go ahead and use that. Now notice that it says it's too big. This 3D pattern was initially done in quite a large scale, and so we don't want it that large. We can't use it that large. Now we can always scale the pattern down further after we've placed it on our board. So I like to use a size such as 12 inches to capture a good amount of detail. And again, if I want to put this in a smaller board, no problem. So I'm changing the size. You can see it's turned green. I click on Accept, and there we've got our pattern. Now this is still kind of full 3D, but it's been projected onto kind of a board, if you will. And so you can see that we no longer have a full 3D pattern. We have a 3D pattern looking at it as if we're a viewer from this side of the ship. We don't want all of this. This is actually too much. There's kind of all this wasted detail, if you wish. And so what we want to do is, again, kind of slice this thing right down the middle. And the way to do that is to go over here where you can see it says lower, and we're going to lower it down until we get just about half of the slice. Kind of a slice right down the middle of the ship. And that's going to give us just about the right amount of detail for a pattern. So there we have it. We're good to go. Now you can see here the Z scale is set at 1. That's really kind of high. Let's go ahead and put this down at 0.25. All right, that's looking more like a pattern now, and that we place on a board. And so let's go ahead and accept that. And now we can go ahead, now we can go ahead and export that. And we're just going to send it right to Designer that we've already opened up. We're going to save it as a Destroyer. Now let's create a new project. That's a pretty good size. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's go fetch our pattern. Place it on the board. I'm going to center it. I'm going to make the depth 0.25, and I'm going to make the height 999. That's going to raise the pattern up to the surface of the board. And let's go ahead and put an oval around this. And let's see if we give it some feather. And there we have it.